Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am Gigi of GGmadeit.com. You know, the knitter, the blogger, and the yarn hoe, coming to you one day past what I'd normally come, but I warned you guys that I wouldn't be available on Sunday. So this week, so we're going to talk about Stitch Together. We're going to talk about, I have some mail, and yeah, I have footage, so I'm not going to talk long because I don't want this to be really long, and I'm really not sure how long the footage is, but I did capture some footage, so I'll be able to give you a little bit of snippets from the weekend, and that's that. So, you ready? Let's go. Don't believe
These
me.
pockets are awesome.
See. So look, you gonna stop hating on my pockets. You see? Look. See, look, everybody loves the pockets. It's not just me. See, look. Look, see. So I'm going to start with mail. First off, I met a young lady, maybe it was last year at String Thing Studio. And, you know, the magic happened. We followed each other on social media. And she makes jewelry, right? I'll put the name. It's Aaron Maya Made. I'll put her information in the down bar. But scrolling through Instagram, came across her feed, and she had rings on that said love and something else. And she was making the peace sign, right? And I was like, can you write knit? Can I have a ring that says knit? And she made it for me, guys. So I got two. One says love and one says knit. But is that the coolest thing ever? So I am loving that. And of course, we have a fresh manicure, so I got the knit stitch on my pointer finger to go with my knit ring. So ever since I have posted about this ring, I've had millions of questions about it. So how can you bend your finger? If you turn the word knit to the side of your finger, you have room to bend your finger. So it's doable. You can wear it and function. I've worn it and I can type, but it is just the cutest. I love it. So again, I will share her information in the down bar. I want to say it's Aaron Maya Made, but I'll put the information down. But how cool is that? Isn't this cute? I love it. And then I took it off and forgot. Everybody was asking me about it this weekend, and I forgot to. I took it off and I didn't put it back on. So everyone's like, Gigi, where's your knit ring? I'm like, I left it home. So that was the first thing, mail. And then the other thing came on Saturday, but I was so prepped. No, it came Friday evening, I think. But I was all in getting ready for the weekend mode, so I didn't open it, but I can tell you that it is from Periwinkle Sheep, my Karen, who I love, and I can tell by the feel of it that it's yarn. So let's see what my Karen has for me. So of course there's a card, because I love a good card, and it's a card with yarn on it, which is the cutest card ever. Knock knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Aren't you GGmadeit? I am GGmadeit. I hope this package finds you in better spirits. I'd hoped to get this bit of cheer to you earlier, but I decided to play with some orange since I do believe you like the color. Question mark. A little bit. Seriously, I checked your feed and it's all orange. I love it. I really... Wait, no. Who is this from? Oh, this is Marinated Yarns. I thought this was Karen. This is Marinated Yarn. Okay, so back. This is Marion. Rewind. This is Marion. I really admire you for your openness and your ability and desire to share, your smile, and especially your relationship with Shelby. You can open this now or save it for a pick-me-up later. You can make something with it or pass on the cheer. Thank you for being you. Hugs, Marion. Why did I think this was... I'm going crazy. Why did I think... It does say Marinated Yarns. I don't know why I had Periwinkle Sheep in my head. Okay, so... big tag, Marinated Yarns. Thank you, Marion. Now, I'm going to say this to you guys. If you are not familiar with Marinated Yarns, I am absolutely putting her website in the down bar, because my first introduction to her was on a wool walk maybe a year or two ago. And I still have this orange gradient that I bought from her that goes from dark to light. Baby, listen. Her dye skills are top notch. So if you are not familiar with Marinated Yarns, do yourself a favor and check her out. Aw, it's a set of note cards. I love a good note card. So let's see. So this is the one she gave me. It has a little ducky sitting in a little boat of yarn, which is cute. This looks like a bouquet of flowers, and it's actually yarn around it. That's cute. Oh, I love a good card. And these cards are from Bloom Hand Design. I love her. I love her stuff. So thank you, Marion. That's a very thoughtful gift, especially for someone like me who is all about a handwritten card. So let's see. She said she was going to play with some orange. Let's see what she did. Ooh. Ooh, is this all the same? Wow, Marion. So let's see. This is her bulky weight, and it says dye just for you. Guys. Oh, this is beauteous. So I could see, oh, this is pretty. So I need to make, oh, yes, Marion, this is gorgeous. How pretty is that? Oh, I love it. So I'm sorry, let me go back. This is her bulky weight. This is 100% superwash. It's 106 yards each. So I could find me a nice cow or something to make. This is gorgeous. Thank you, Marion. So that was my mail. And now let me update you on the Franca. Okay, so I told you guys that my goal was to do the sleeves 2 at a time. I promise you I tried, and I couldn't wrap my head around how it was going to work. So I started the sleeve when I was on the train, but then I couldn't find my stitch marker, so I stopped because I needed to keep tracks of where, at any rate. I stopped going down because I wanted to do the sleeves just to be sure that I had enough left. I am going to put some footage here of me in the hotel room trying it on, and to let you see how long it is so far and give you the update. So I'm still loving it. I'm just going to, as I said before, I'm going to do the sleeves. I'm going to finish the sleeves so that I'm sure that I have enough for the sleeves, and then I could just go on. Once the sleeves are done, I'm going to make it as long as it'll go. So that's where we are with the Franca. And she still has pockets. You saw my pockets already, right? Do I need to show anybody the pockets? No? Okay. So that's where we are with my current whip. Actually, I am dead tired from the weekend, and we'll talk more about that. So I don't know that I'll do any knitting tonight because I'm really sleepy. And I don't want to mess up and have to wind up pulling out what I did because I was sleepy. So that is the update on the Franca. She's growing. She's growing. She's growing. And she got fondled. Everybody touched her and loved up on her yesterday. So she is growing nicely. So that's that. You ready to talk about Swan? You ready to talk about Stitch Together? I'm ready to talk about it. Okay, so I have often talked about watch your mouth, right? The self-talk, how important it is. And I think I said to you last week that I've missed out on opportunities because of my self-confidence or lack thereof. So I can say to you, when Swan reached out to me, I truly had no idea who they was. I did not know anything about their history. But once I did a little research, something in me said, give it a try. And I'll be honest with you, the title of the event is what drew me in. It was called Stitch Together, right? So you guys know that this conversation is happening in the knitting industry. You guys also know that I am not a big fan of all the fighting and the calling out and the attacks and the just negative energy around what's supposed to be a conversation to pull us together, right? So when it said that the title of it was Stitch Together, I was like, that's it. That's exactly it, because we are, a piece of fabric with a big hole in it. And if we work together and everybody worked on their section of the fabric and everybody did their stitches, eventually we could close that hole, right? We could close that gap and we could find a way to build community. We can find a way to make somebody like me comfortable in the room, right? We can find a way to just act as human beings and stop with the labels and the titles and the just stitch together. When you stitch two pieces of material together, you strengthen either side. And that seam is that conduit to hold the two pieces together. And that's what I felt like stitching together. We needed that conduit to hold the two sides of this conversation together, because together we are more powerful. So Sunday was, I'm not going to talk a lot because like I said, I have footage, but so I traveled up, I took the train up on Saturday. Saturday evening, we went to dinner. I didn't get much footage from Saturday evening because I got in, I was tired, I needed to eat. And I'm a big first impression type of person. I get a feeling from you and I know instantly, am I going to engage? Am I going to expend my energy with you? Or am I going to just remain polite and avoid? And of all of us on the panel, I've only met one person before, and that was Lady Di, right? Everyone else was new to me. I promise you, had you walked in that restaurant and happened upon our table, you would not have believed that we were all meeting for the first time, for the most part, right? You would not have believed that. Elizabeth, which is the brains and the heart and the soul behind Squam Love, and I, like magnets, pow. We were like magnets. When I tell you we connected, when I tell you we shared, we had such deep conversations. Elizabeth and I were supposed to be I was supposed to meet that woman. I was supposed to spend the time that I have spent with her over this week. And that was destined. That was nothing that was planned. I don't think there could have been a plan to stop it, because pow, we were like magnets attracted to one another, and it just felt so good. Can I tell you that I was around mere strangers and I felt at home? And I think that's what this conversation about. This is what this inclusion is about. I should feel comfortable in any space where the fiber community is held. I should not feel like an outsider trying to get in, right? And I can tell you, I felt at home with them. And the dinner was so good. Now I record everything. I'm taking pictures. That's just who I am. Not just, excuse me, for the blog. That's just who I am. My family will tell you in a minute. Get out my face with the camera, gay, because I stay in everybody's face with the camera. And that's just what I do. I'd like to document the events that are important, that you can look back later on and say, oh yeah, I forgot about that, right? So the conversation was so good. It was so deep. It was so engaging that I never took my phone out to take pictures. I usually take pictures of the food, my food, everybody else's food, the table, just the whole ambiance, right, is my thing. I didn't do that. I didn't think about taking pictures until we were getting ready to leave. And I asked the waiter, could he take a group shot of us, right? It was just good. It was just good. So something else I'll share with you guys that you all are going to say, nah, Gigi, that can't be. And that is, I do not like speaking in public. This is not public. I'm sitting in the comfort of my bedroom talking to my phone. This is not public, right? But when I have to speak in public, you can ask one of my dearest friends. We worked in Verizon together forever. Every time she knew I had to get up and speak in front of an audience, she was always, you okay? I always throw up. I always throw up. I work myself up into a tizzy. And that was me yesterday. I couldn't sleep. I was awake at 4 a.m. I got myself all riled up. I got sick to my stomach. I was crying. And the crying was nerves, and the crying was, I wish that my mom, my dad, my bonus dad, my grandmother, that they can see, right? Because I never imagined someone would pay me to give my opinion, right? So I was in my feelings yesterday morning. I was in my feelings big time. I had to take a shower, get my life together so that I can come down and meet the people. And I call myself going down early so that I can get in this space, see the space, figure out where we were going to be sitting, get my bearings, get myself together before the people came, right? So I needed that 5 minutes. I always tell people, I'm not a morning person, not because I'm mean, but I need my me time. I need my tea, before I'm on, right? Can I just be with me for a minute? So I was expecting to be able to be with me for a minute, but I bent that corner coming from the elevator, and pow, the people were there, and it was in it, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Once we got going, once we started talking, the initial speaker, Tiffany, just blew my mind. And once we got up there, we flowed. The panelists, we ebbed and flowed like it was just by design. We really just kind of picked up where the other one left off. It felt good, guys. It felt good. And afterwards, there was enough time left to, if anybody wanted to hang around, to continue the conversation, to have, some time with the panelists if you chose to. And, I got some of the most heartfelt hugs. I had some of the most heartfelt conversations. And, to me, I'm just being me, and I don't realize how something that I said or something that I've experienced or the way that I phrase something, how it can impact the next person. I really don't realize that. And to just listen to people tell me the impact that I've had in their behavior or in their life, or the way that they see things, or the way that they think about things, or, the way that they'll act going forward. just really felt good. Like, it felt good. I was tired because that was a lot of energy. That was a lot of energy. It was good. And then the energy that you take in from people, right? I don't think we realize that. Like, you take on that energy from the other people, and it was just a good week. And I walked away proud. I did it, right? Another notch in my show that I did it. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I was worthy. That's neither here nor there. I know I have to watch my mouth. But it was good, guys. It was really, really good. So I am going to share some footage. Providence, I would love to go back and just walk around downtown Providence. The cutest little town ever. The train station and the hotel where I was staying was right smack in the heart of downtown. So I walked from the train station, and just very cute. I'm going to share all that with you. So I'm going to stop here because I don't know how long the footage is going to be, but I'm going to share as much as I can with you guys. Once the talk was recorded, and Squam Love will be sharing that, and once I have a link to that, I will share it with you guys. But I want to give it to you through my eyes, if you will. The little snippets that I took, I want to share. And I also want to say, I don't know that she watches, but Elizabeth, thank you. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for this opportunity to add my voice to those that are choosing to speak up about the state of our community right now. And I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to tell my side of it, or to tell it from through my eyes, right? Because I can't give you anything other than the path that I've walked in these 52, almost 53 years. So thank you so much for taking a chance on me. And yeah, so before I show you the footage, I am going to say thank you for being here. If you are a new subscriber, hey, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that notification button, because normally I upload every Sunday. We didn't do Sunday this time because I was away, but thank you. Thank you all for being here. The numbers are growing. It looks like we're going to hit 5K soon, and when we do that, I plan on having a nice giveaway. So stay tuned. Thank you, guys. And talk to me in the comments. Give me your thought process on the little clips that I share and what you think about the conversation. So the journey begins. I am at Penn Station, waiting for my train to head to Providence for the Stitch Together event. So I'm nervous and excited, and nervous and excited. And Penn Station just makes me think about my grandmother. She kept me in New York when I was a little girl. So I'm here, and it is quite the cute little town. Trying to find my way to the hotel. They said it was only like a 13-minute walk. And I'm really happy that I opted to walk, because this is really cute little area. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. So let me get back to my walking directions, because I don't know where I'm going. I mean, it really is an adorable city. Adorable, adorable. I probably should stop and grab me something to eat, but I need to know where this hotel is. But really, oh, there's a food truck. This is a cute little area. At least I know I don't have far to walk. I can come back for a subway. Very, very nice area, guys. Very nice. So I've checked in, And I'm 321. I guess this is right here. This is 320 and 321. So let's see how this... Okay, there was a door to the door. So here's home for the night. This feels strange. When I used to travel all the time, I haven't had to stay in a hotel in quite some time. But this is cute. I like. And I was greeted with a bag at the front desk. And what's my name? Listen, I am in this place. What is it called? Frisky Fries. Frisky Fries. Wait until you see what I'm getting ready to get. Oh, and is that a shake?
Oh yeah, we got shakes. We got floats going.
Oh, I think I want a strawberry shake.
It's $3.50.
Strawberry, vanilla, coffee, and then we also have any kind of soda float you like.
Oh wait, you said a soda float?
Yeah, so we have.
Oh, I haven't had a soda float since I was little.
Root beer and orange, but you can make it with whatever flavor.
Yeah, root beer, orange.
I'm orange. Listen, can you see? Orange is my color. I need an orange float. We need an orange float. Yes, we do. Oh my God. Yes. So the Philly cheesesteak, I probably shouldn't because I'm supposed to go to dinner later, but I don't care. That's what I want. And then the orange float.
Orange float?
Yes. So they got orange chairs. So you know, wait till you see what I just ordered. So we supposed to be going to dinner at 7 o'clock. I sure shouldn't get this. But I ain't never seen nothing like it. Wait till y'all see what I'm going to get. I ain't never seen nothing like it. So, as you saw, I was walking down the street to find something to eat, and I went in a place called Frisky Fries. So, the town has passed inspection for me. And what's inspection? Is that what you're saying? You know, do people make eye contact? I haven't run into anyone that cast their eyes down. Everyone greeted my smile with a smile, and I just made a friend in the restaurant. And then when she asked me what I was here for, I explained I was on a panel for diversity and inclusion, and it was an older white couple. And the lady said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to listen to your conversation, but you're here to speak about what?" So when I explained to her, she was like, "Is that really a thing?" She said, "People really think that you wouldn't be able to, don't you have two hands?" I said, "I do." She was like, "Wow. I wish I had known. I would love to have participated in that." She says, "Well, you go get them." She said, "I can tell by these 5 minutes in the store that you're going to be fabulous." I said, "Well, thank you." I didn't tell her that my name was Gay the Goddess. I didn't. Okay, guys. I changed my clothes. I'm dressed for dinner. I have on, you see my shoes, just enough orange for them to know it's me. So I will try to capture the peoples so you guys can see, try to take you along with me as much as I can. Talk to you later. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So first let me apologize because I did take some pictures that I'll share, but what I didn't do was record any footage. Dinner was the perfect... You know how you meet somebody and you connect instantly? That's what happened with just about all of the new people that I were meeting for the first time. The majority of the folks that are a part of this event I had never met. And it was just heartwarming to meet new people and feel like you were with your people versus feeling like an outsider. Does that make sense? So dinner was fabulous. We went to a Peruvian restaurant. The food was good. And I always take pictures of food. I didn't even do that. I was so engrossed in the conversation. It was just really, really good. So it's 7 a.m. I just ordered room service, and I'm going to get myself together. I need to check and see what time checkout is. Like, do I need to pack everything and take it with me type thing? But I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm excited. So stay tuned. Do a couple rows on my sleeve. And when I started it, I couldn't get my brain right to do the 2 at a time. I know I could have, but it wasn't clicking. So I'm doing the traditional way, but I don't have a wire small enough, so I'm doing magic loop to do the sleeve. And you guys see, I got the knit stitch on my nails. I know I'm too much. I'm too much. I'm waiting for my breakfast. Breakfast. Okay, time to check out of the hotel and head on down here. So, I'm nervous. I don't, believe it or not, you guys are not gonna believe this. I don't like speaking in public. I really get nervous. I know that's hard to believe. It's easy in front of a camera because it's just me. Oops. Because it's just me. But when I got to speak in front of people, I already threw up. So usually, once I throw up, I'm okay. So the throw up part is over. So, here goes nothing. Morning time. Morning time. Morning time.
Fabulous.
So look, kiss him again. You'll be on the blog this week. Hi. So,
You see the orange?
Nice. Do you guys recognize that? I think you recognize that. Nice. All day, hi. Yes. Oh, I gotta get the sign. I live in New Jersey. I'm in Clifton. I'm like right down from Lincoln Tunnel. You say, oh my God, because of the camera?
No, because I'm seeing you.
Oh, hi. Thank you. So great to meet you. Tell me your Instagram name.
Curly Peg.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you. No, go. I was just, catching the stuff. That's all. Hello. How are you? Hello. How are you? Good. And you wore an orange shirt. Come, look. Of course she has an orange. So, say hi, ladies. If you don't mind, you'll be on my YouTube this week. Say hi. So, guys, it's happening. And I'm just going to walk around because I am going to just walk because I'm nervous. But it's happening. The people are coming. Les is here. This is just so wonderful. Hi. I'm so excited. And Nick, that's Meg. That's my new baby. Yes. Hi. I am following you. That's my new baby. Strike a pose, strike a pose. Yes, hello ladies. They're manning the desk. They're getting all the people together. And this is what I wanted. I love that. I love that. What happened? Are you telling stories? You are involved. You are the head of this all. Hi.
This incredibly important discussion. I'm also going to take a moment to announce the winners of our raffle. Please see me at the welcome desk where you all came in after the event to collect your prize, which is kind of a little easier for everybody. So, Mindy, will you pass and ask each of our panelists to pull a ticket? The first raffle prize is going to be for GGmadeit enamel pin set. Yeah, Mindy, who is that?
So the lucky winner is Lisa Ora.
And the next prize is for the Lady Dye Yarns bundle.
Okay, let's see. Keely?
Yeah. And the next prize is the Oysters and Pearls bundle of yarn for an amazing pattern.
This is Peg Roeder.
Our next prize is Willie Thistle, $100 gift card.
Oh, Raven Williams.
Who is that?
Raven Williams.
Our moderator for today's discussion. Some of you may know her from Squam Retreats, where she supports us and offers yoga classes. Michelle is a psychotherapist with a focus on supporting people through life transitions. She also leads workshops on diversity and inclusion for the Equality Works Group in London. Please join me in offering a warm welcome to Michelle Vitale.
Thank you, everyone. I want to first make sure that you can hear me well all the way to the back. Shake your head, yes? Yes, beautiful. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Michelle Vitale. I use she and her pronouns. And to get us started, I'm going to take just a moment to set a framework for our conversation. I'd love for all of us to envision a circle around us for a moment. So if you can envision a circle, we're going to call this circle our zone of awareness. And in this circle, all of us have our lived experiences. Everything that we've had the opportunity to be exposed to in our lives, the things that we had an opportunity to get to know and understand better. I'll let you know a little bit about what's in my zone of awareness as a way of introducing myself to you a bit. So in my zone of awareness, I have some understanding around what it is like to live in South America, because I was born and raised in beautiful Venezuela. And I was born into a multicultural family. So I had my white Italian grandfather and my brown Venezuelan abuelita, my grandmother. And so I had this opportunity to be loved and love family members who some of them look like me and some of them look very different than me. And I had this opportunity to witness as I was growing up, my family, despite their differences, really do their best to get along. In my zone of awareness, I also have some understanding around the experience of immigration, because I immigrated to the United States with my mom and my sister when I was 12 years old. And that's something that I continue to gain understanding around, the richness and the challenges that come with being an immigrant. And the last thing that I'll mention, in my zone of awareness, I also have the understanding that I continue to gain through my work in counseling. I have a graduate degree in multicultural counseling. I work in private practice actually right here in Providence. And in my psychotherapy work, I get to know the intimate stories of the people that I work with. And that's one of the biggest privileges for me. And I also do work with the Equality Works Group, the EW Group, which is a diversity and inclusion consultancy in the UK as well. And I mentioned all of these things as a way to, one, introduce myself to you a little bit, but also to open up our panel discussion today from the perspective that all of us have this zone of awareness. And the zone which includes all of the things that we have had a chance to get to know and understand. And just as all of us have some level of understanding about some of the ways of being in this world, all of us also have blind spots to those ways of being in the world that we have not yet had a chance to understand. And that is why conversations and gatherings like this one that we're participating in right now are so important. So today, we are here and we're lucky enough, we get to hand the microphones over, although we're not even using microphones, but we get to actually create space for the voices of our panelists to be heard. And so these panelists, some of you traveled here actually, right? From afar, so thank you so much for being here. They so bravely and so generously are going to be sharing with us today their stories. They're also going to be sharing with us what they see are some of the issues. They're going to be sharing with us what they think are some of the things that we can do that will be really helpful to create rich and diverse communities and to help create a deeper sense of belonging in our creative maker spaces. And us as an audience, we have this opportunity to participate with a sense of willingness. And so if we listen, really listen to what they're saying, and if we really seek to understand where they're coming from, then we have this beautiful opportunity to actually absorb some of their wisdom and stitch it into our own zone of awareness. And so with that framework, I'd love to first actually take a moment to put out an invitation. I think this is really important for this type of conversation. And the invitation is the following. So as we are listening to our panelists, we might hear something that is outside of our zone of awareness right now. We might hear something that we just hadn't recognized before, haven't heard of before, that feels a little bit unfamiliar, that feels a little bit uncomfortable. And I really want to invite us to stay open to noticing the discomfort as it shows up. And discomfort might show up as a bit of tension in your chest, heaviness in your stomach, or maybe that little bit of a sense of distancing and that thought that sounds, ooh, I don't really want to go there. I really invite us to notice that discomfort, because discomfort can be a really helpful guide for us. Discomfort can really show us the places where we're needing to gain a little bit more understanding. Yeah? And so the invitation is this. Let's notice those places of discomfort, and let's notice when the discomfort shows up and meet it with curiosity. And that might sound something like, that comment brought up a little bit of tension in my chest. There's a little bit of discomfort there. And let's remember that discomfort is really showing us with some wisdom. It's showing us places where there is the opportunity to gain more understanding. Yeah? And with that, I would love to turn to the panel, and I actually want to take a moment to set up the conversation. So this is what it'll look like for us today. I do have a list of questions that we're gonna visit together. I'm holding these questions on pretty flexibly, so really I'm inviting the panel to work very collaboratively together to create this experience. And once we have visited some of these questions, we're going to then open it up to the audience, so you'll have an opportunity to ask questions as well. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. So let's get started. So here's how it's going to work with the panel. We're going to have your very first question. Please take time, each of you individually, to share with us who you are, preferred pronouns, where you're coming from. I'd also love if you could share what is one thing that you're making right now that you are really excited about. And some of you already know. And then the last thing, please share with us, why did you say yes to being here today? Yeah. Would you
can you get started?
Sure. Hello, my name is Gay Glassby, but most of you know me as Gigi. I'm a knitter and a blogger predominantly. I come from New Jersey, born and raised, never strayed too far. And my pronouns, she and her, and why I decided to say yes. That's the big part for me. If you take, for me coming from the knitting industry, I feel like we are a piece of fabric that has a big hole in it. And I think the title of this is First What Grabbed You, Stitched Together, right? Because I feel like together with that thread that we all have in common, if we all take our own little piece of the thread and work together, we can patch that hole. Like, I don't think that anybody is wrong where they land in this story, whatever side of the road you're on. I don't think you're wrong. It could be that you don't know, like she said. There could be something that makes you sit up and you're a little defensive and, you know, I'm not, you know, if you take that there, I think, like she said, if you sit with that feeling for a minute and just question why behind it. There's no reason for us to fight. I think we can solve our differences and stitch it together and make it whole again. And that's what I want. So that's why I wanted to come. I needed to be a voice. I'm not a loud voice. I'm never gonna argue with you. You're never gonna come in my comments and goad me into fighting with you. But I have a way for you to get my message across. And I felt like coming here face to face, because saying something online to that little square could be a little different, you know what I mean? You may not necessarily say that to me personally, right? Where you could type, you know, cap lock me to death. But if you met me in person, you got to see that I'm more than that little square. I'm more than this brown, right? And I think that can help us get past this gaping hole that we have in our community. And that's why I said yes.
What is something that you're making right now that you're excited about?
Oh, pockets. Pockets. No, I'm making a cardigan. I was afraid of sweaters. I told myself that I couldn't for a very long time. And that's something else that I share with those that follow me. I say a lot, watch your mouth, because your mouth is close to your brain and your heart, right? Your heart feels it and your brain hears it, and it convinces you that it's fact. And I always told myself that I couldn't make sweaters. So I'm making a cardigan, which I've made a few sweaters, so I knew I had that, but it has pockets.
Yeah.
like I can put my hands in the pockets. Like, yeah, so that's what I'm excited about. I have pockets.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Diane Ivy. I'm the owner of Lady Di Yarns. I go by she and her. I live from Boston. And I wanted, when I was asked to join the panel, I was really excited to be able to come and to share with all of you my experience as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman in this industry, and the work that I'm trying to hopefully do to bridge BIPOC businesses in the industry to have access to opportunity to grow and to succeed, and to be able to talk about my experience, not only as a knitter, but being in Boston, I'm a fiber arts teacher for adults and kids, and to talk about that experience of having people see a Black woman as their fiber arts teacher, and how I've been able to help them grow within their craft, and that along the lines of what Gigi was saying, we have more in common than we have that's different, and if we can talk through it and to share our experiences about that, then I think that we can move the conversation forward, and also to be here to talk about maybe action steps and how to improve things. And I have to say, the thing that I'm working on is something that I'm leaving for New Zealand to visit my best friend, so I'm making her, she really wanted the shift cowl from Andrea Mari, and I'm excited because I'm almost done, and I started not too long ago. It's the second one I've made. I'm not saying that I'm excited to make it for myself, I'm just excited to finish it. So that's about it.
Cool.
I'm Brandy Cheyenne Harper, and a lot of you may know me as Pearl Binette, which is a name I'm kind of moving away from, but people might know me as Pearl Binette in the knitting world. And my pronouns are she, her, and I do respond to they, and I use they more inclusively now because I work with a very large community. Full-time at the Parksville Food Co-op is one of like my full-time 40-hour work. It's my moonlighting job. It's my side gig. And I'm a knitter. I'm a knitwear designer and a teacher. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm here because I'm being paid to be here. To be honest with you. I think in social media, I will talk a little bit about this, but people have a lot of access to me as a person who's really vocal on social media, and I get access to a lot of things for free. And so the fact that I was being paid was a large reason why I'm here. And I will talk about that as a part of this conversation because it's something that's really important to me, and I actually love that I was able to talk to someone else in this audience about it, kind of set the stage for what I wanted to address here today. And I'm openly gay. I'm of African descent. I'm Black. And I'm young in comparison to a lot of even a lot of my students. So I think that has also played a part in my experience in this world, especially as a knitting teacher, is that I'm young. People are like, wow, well, what can you tell me about knitting? Are you sure this is a pearl stitch? I'm like, yes. I am 110% positive that is a pearl stitch. So even to be teaching a class and someone to ask me, like, do you think one of these two things is this? I'm like, yes, thank you. So people still question my knowledge even when I'm in a position to teach them. So that's something that's a part of my existence. So I'm here a lot because I feel like I have a lot to give. I feel like my identity is very intersectional. I can't separate the fact that I'm a young Black woman who's also openly gay in a relationship with a woman. It's something that I'm very vocal about on my platform when I share my work and who I am, and it's something that I know even some people in this room might not be okay with, but it's something that I know I need to put out there, and I knew I could kind of be that person for this group. And one thing I'm working on, I'm really excited about, I'm making a sweater for Make, shameless plug, for Make magazine. I didn't have to sign a non-disclosure, so I don't know if they don't. I'm sharing, it's happening. It's coming out in spring, okay? It's a spring cardigan, and I'm using a Pearl Soho yarn lantern, and I'm really excited about that. And the sizing is being really inclusive. You can see I'm more full-bodied, so that was something that was important to them and important to me to have really inclusive sizing. And that was really great, so I'm excited about that. And was that it? Did I answer everything? That's it. Excited to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Mindy Sonis. I created a program called Studio Femme that really is a space that creates opportunities for experiences and creative expression, allows people to sort of discover who they are in a really embodied way and find their way in the world as activists, whether it's quiet and in their solo life or really out on the front lines and in the world. I also am a faculty member at the Embodied Love Movement Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that provides facilitation and leadership training around body positivity and body diversity. And what I've really learned through my work for that program is that really so much of our relationship with our own bodies is intertwined with this larger cultural conversation about racism and oppression. And in truth, all threads of oppression can really be traced back to the body. So it's been really enlightening work. What I started to do on one layer and peeling back all the different layers and getting to lots of really important threads that are really a part of this discussion as well. And as many of you know, I've worked in many capacities over the years for Squam Art workshops. And I'm really happy to be on path to be stepping in in January as the executive director. And this is really a large part of why I wanted to be a part of this conversation, because I feel like we're having such a moment. We're so delighted and honored to be hosting conversations like this, feeling like going forward, this is something that we are absolutely going to be active and participating in. And something I'm working on, fall, Squam, and 2020.
Are you getting a sense this is going to be a really good conversation? Yes? Yes. Me too. So excited. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so here we go. Let's open up with this question. When we embrace makers different than ourselves, what do we as individuals and as communities stand to gain? And this is open for anyone who would like to answer.
Well, I can say, so something that has come up for me in the context of this conversation is, well, let's just name it racism, right? I'm not racist. I have black friends. I have gay friends. I'm gay myself. I'm not racist. So there's this kind of trying to disconnect ourselves from the reality of racism and say, I'm not a part of that system, without realizing that it's woven into every aspect of our lives, right? Imagine learning something for 500 years, it being woven into medical system, in the housing market, into our educational system, in the way our employment system is woven into everything, and we're taught this. And one day they say, okay, it's over now. Go out, you're free. There's no education on undoing it. There's no systematic systems really that are given resources to unweave what has been done. And so we all learn, and even for me, I have to undo like my own specifically I'm black, so I'm gonna talk about racism in the context of my blackness, but anti-black racism and undoing it in the ways that it's been taught to me, as the media represents black women very negatively most of the time. And so when people, what do we have to gain is like this strength, this history that, even Tiffany can stand up here with her history and share that story of how she's persevered and be able to say, wow, look at how far she has been able to come and accomplish, even with her history. Wow, what can I do? Even with everything that I have, all the privilege that I have, all the resources that I have, imagine what I can do. And so for me, people say, well, what does color have to do with craft, or what does racism have to do with knitting? And it's inconsequential. I think I heard someone say, your color is inconsequential to me. And I say, wow, you don't even realize how you've just taken my entire identity away from me, Like, to say that it's inconsequential. I'm saying, like, when I say I love black people, man, they're like, what? I love black people. I love everyone, obviously. But I especially love black people. They're amazing. And so, you take that away from me. So I think what we have to gain, at least for every single person in this room, is that, there's so much strength in our history, and it's painful and it's sad, and we want to distance ourselves from it. But if we can ease ourselves into it, there's this kind of power that says, wow, we can overcome so much. Whether or not we're a person of color or not, we can overcome so much. I don't know if I answered the question.
So for me, right? So for me, the differences. I like to use analogies. I like to find a way to make my message palatable or make you comfortable to be uncomfortable, right? So when you say our differences, if you think the knitting industry, the one thing we have in common is the yarn, right? So I use an analogy. Imagine if you the only way you can enter a yarn store is if you were blindfolded, okay? So your decision on that yarn would be how it felt. The color would be insignificant. So when you talk about the differences of the people in the industry, for me, right, how do you make me feel? What is my gut reaction to you? What's that sense that I get from you, right? I'm gonna put my Les on stage for a second. When I met her the first time, we were standing in line to meet Westminster. You remember that? And she didn't know me from a candy cane. Now, do people know the African American woman with the curly hair that wheels the orange? They know her, right? But not many people know Gigi. Okay, so there's a difference in the two people, right? You know this square is what you deem as a celebrity versus Gigi, right? So we were standing in line waiting for Steven, and me being who I am, I was like, no, I'm next, I'm next. She was like, listen, I've had this shawl on and that I didn't finish it since the last time, you know, and we, like this. I was the sponge and I just soaked. I'm back home. I'm dead tired, but I have some good footage to share with you guys. So it's coming.